Here in Victoria, there has been a 33% increase in auto theft. These numbers are up because of the high-tech tools that are now readily available to car thieves. When the problem is high-tech, I think the solution is low-tech. Let's break that down.
Dangerous joyride across Melbourne.
Driven from this secure long-term parking lot at Melbourne Airport.
Last year there were some 26,000 cars stolen here in Victoria. A large percentage of those were stolen from down there in Melbourne. In the regions, it's not quite as bad. You see, here in the regions, all of us farmers, we have tools for pest management. And I think that is enough of a deterrent for those people to come on up here and try and pinch our cars too. These modern thieves are using high-tech, low-cost tools that they get online from places like Temu and Alibaba. Paul over at Car Expert did a ripper video about this and how these guys are actually doing it. What I want to talk to you about is how you can stop it happening to you. Essentially, if you have a car that has got a push to start button, your car is well and truly susceptible to this. They use this high-tech tool to hijack your car's computer into thinking that they have the appropriate key for your car. And off they go. It's all done via the OBD port in your car. They get this computer, they plug it into there, trick your car, and off they go. Now, if you live down there in Melbourne, in Australia's very own Gotham City, you know this problem is not going away. And sure, the police can find them, the police can charge them, and you know as well as I do, they're going to get bailed before lunchtime. Therefore, it is up to you to, well, look after it yourself to an extent. This is a new high-tech crime, and I believe that this high-tech crime is resolved with a low-tech solution. And no, I'm not talking about what I use for pest management. I'm just talking about making it harder for them to steal your car. They're targeting Landcruisers, they're targeting Camrys, Hiluxes, Corollas, all the Toyotas with that push button, and other manufacturers with that push button. I'm saying the Toyotas just because there's so many of them around, and that is part of the solution for you. There are a few things that you should consider, and I'm not, the obvious stuff. I'm not talking about the obvious stuff like locking your car, keeping the keys out of it, keeping your car locked in the shed. I'm not talking about any of that sort of stuff. I'm talking about deterrents that are going to get that car thief to look at one of the many other cars that are out there. All of these things, any thief worth his salt is going to be able to overcome, but that's not the point. Number one is you could easily move that OBD port. You can go up there, find the zip ties that are holding it in place, cut that, move it, tuck it up in the dash somewhere so it's not readily obvious where it is. And that might be enough for them to smash your window, go in there, go, this is too hard, and move on to the next one. Sure, you're going to have a smashed window, but you're also still going to have your car there. Number two is that you can go and get yourself a lock that goes over that OBD port, and it's only accessible if you have a key. Now, sure, they could probably jimmy it off with a pry bar or something like that, but chances are they're not carrying one of those when they've already got it in their head about how they're going to steal your car. So they see that, again, you've got a smashed window and they're going to move on. However, I would say that if you did do that, I would get yourself a little sticker made, put it on the driver's side window, down nice and down low there, so it's obvious that it's there, to let them know that you've got a lock over it. And if you do, well, they may well go look across the car park and see another one of the cars that you've got and go and pinch that one instead. Number three is actually the very first thing I thought of when I first saw this problem that with them hijacking your car via that OBD port. And that is the old school steering lock that you can get from Super Cheap Auto. They cost like 50 or 60 bucks. Sure, you can get around them. The old school thieves used to get around them, but the new ones, they're running around with these little scanners, so they're probably not going to get around it. So I would go and get one of those right now if you lived in Melbourne, if you've got one of these cars that are push button start and you leave it locked up somewhere for an extended period of time, overnight generally, I would put one of these on your steering wheel because they're going to look at it and then go, well, that one hasn't got one, I'm going to go steal that one. Number four is something that I saw when I was researching for this video about what is around the world that is available right now. And you can buy something on eBay. I don't know if they work, but it looks like they would. It's a fake OBD port. And when they plug in their scanner into this thing, there's an alarm that goes off and you've got to find the remote button that you hide somewhere in your car to turn that alarm off. Again, they're going to break that window, get to it first, but they're not going to necessarily have stolen your car. So that is another option for you. Number 5 is to install a kill switch. You can get cheap ones, you can get expensive ones, and all of them can be overcome with enough time on the side of the thief. So if you do install a kill switch, again, that window's probably going to get smashed. They're going to do this OBD port. They're going to hijack your car, but they're not going to be able to take it anywhere because you've got that kill switch. The kill switch may go on the ignition, it might go on the fuel pump, all those sorts of things. Talk to your auto electrician, they can advise you best on that. But again, they can be overcome. And again, I would put a sticker on the car saying there's a kill switch installed. The last thing I'll mention is probably the simplest one if your car is capable of doing this. All cars have different ways of doing this. Some won't be able to do it at all, but have a look in your user manual to see how to do this. And if you're not sure, talk to the dealer that you got the car from. But most cars, you can deadbolt the door. That being, you can lock it, instead of just locking it with the fob, you can lock it with the actual key, and you won't be able to unlock it without the actual key. So they can hijack you, or they can smash the window, won't be able to open the door. Even with the smashed window, even from inside, you can't open the door without the key. So that might be enough to protect your car. And you guys have been around for long enough, you've probably got ideas that I haven't thought of either. And if you do, just put them in the comments down below so other people can learn from this as well. So we can all help protect ourselves from these assholes that are doing this with our cars. All of these things are deterrents, and that's what they are. They are just deterrents. All of them, you can get around them in some time frame depending on the skill set of the mongrel that's doing this. But as I mentioned earlier, these are very common cars. That's why they're being targeted. They're not using them for selling of parts or whatever. They might be, but chances are they're being used in ram raids or doing the old illegal tobacco thing of burning them all down. But regardless of what they're being used for, they can all be put into the category of deterrence. And that's what you're after. You want to deter them from pinching yours and go and look at someone else's. And at some point, we'll all have that many things going on with our cars that it's just going to make them too hard for these assholes to steal. Now, if they do take your car, there's a number of things that you can do. If you've got one of these push-button cars, it's a later model car, and chances are you've got active tracking on that car, as in you can see where it is on a phone app, and you can maybe disable that car from your phone app. But many of these criminals already know where this is in those cars, and they can disable that SIM from the car, and you won't be able to do that. So what else do you do? Well, I did actually do a video about using AirTags to track your car in the event of someone pinching it. I'll link it up the top here. I did that some time ago, and all the stuff that's in there is relevant still today. If you enjoy my no bullshit, light-hearted commentary on all these things that are happening in our world today, give us a like, give us a subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Catch you later.